What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddie Live Podcast, episode number 236. I'm here with pro baller Michael Efevberha. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Doing well, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry for having you guys a bit late, man, but I hope you guys got some good eats. Yeah.
No problem. The food is amazing here, guys.
Yes.
Best Mexican food I've had in Taiwan by far.
Nice. I'll take it. I'll take that, man. Appreciate that. Shoot, yeah. The other man, so you've been in Taiwan? This is your second sort of trip out, right?
Yep.
So tell me about, like, before we get into it, tell me about what brought you here first, originally, and what brought you back?
Well, last season. Last season, I played with a team in the T1 League, Taiwan Leopards. I had a good friend who was an athletic trainer there, and he told me last summer that they were looking to change one of their players, and asked if I was available. And told him, like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm in shape, waiting. So after a few months, they finally made the call and asked me if I would want to be a part of the team. So came to Taiwan, had a really good season last year. We didn't make the playoffs, but I had a good individual season and got another opportunity to come back this year with the P-League. So now I'm here with the Century Lioneers and really enjoying Taiwan again.
And how's the Shinju life, man? We talked about it a little bit earlier.
The Shinju life is amazing, especially after these two big wins we had this weekend. So, yeah, things are doing really well right now.
King of the world, man. I love it, brother. And Taiwan, so obviously you've traveled and played all over, right? Like all over the world. And so, first of all, I say congrats, because every young boy, every young man dreams of playing pro sports and being a pro athlete. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
A little small percentage of people who get there. So kudos to you. That's amazing, man. So tell me about maybe tell me about a little bit about the beginning of the journey before we talk about like the whole worldwide thing.
I grew up in Pomona, California, back in America, and to be honest, I wasn't even a basketball fan while I was a kid. I really liked American football.
Okay.
But my dad was always telling me that I was too skinny and I would hurt myself if I tried playing that.
Okay.
So when I got to about the age of 13, 14, I started taking basketball a little more seriously. And you doing good?
Sorry. What's that? Is it? Okay, it's okay. Keep going, man. You're good.
Okay. So around 13, 14 years old, I took basketball more seriously, like I said, and got a new coach in high school in my senior year. The first couple of years of high school, we weren't really a good team, didn't have a good coaching staff.
Okay.
Luckily, we brought a new guy in my senior year, and he taught me a lot about the game, improved my skills dramatically, because I really sucked my freshman and junior year.
Okay.
Had a growth spurt going into the senior season, and worked on my game that summer, and ended up getting a scholarship to go to UC Irvine.
Okay.
And played 2 years there. Transferred from there after that to Cal State Northridge.
Okay.
Didn't finish school. I decided that I wanted to try to go pro after my junior year. Into the NBA draft. Didn't get selected, but didn't let that stop me. I ended up making it to the NBA D-League, the second division there in America, and played in that for a couple of years. And then finally took my talents overseas, and now I've been playing professionally overseas for 16, 17 years.
Wow. How did what did you think about, you didn't get drafted, right? And then you decided, I'm going to go overseas and play overseas.
Mm-hmm. The decision was basically came to money. You want to?
Sorry, dude.
No problem. Let's handle that.
I don't know what's going on with the audio. We've never had an issue before.
So we're gonna.
What's going on? What is it saying? What happened to the quality? Huh? Sorry, dude. Give me 1 sec. Just chill for a sec. I don't want to. Right. Sorry. Give me 30 seconds here, guys, just to see what is going on with the audio here. Usually zero issues on the audio, but. Okay, it's a little bit crackly, so that's a little weird. No, it's not that. It's all good. No, it's all. So, give me 1 sec to the static sound. Not sure if we can adjust it. Sorry, give me 1 sec, guys. Hold on, guys. Is it on my voice or on Mike's voice?
Can I get you to say something?
Yo, testing. Can you guys hear me clearly, or am I staticky?
That's very strange. Okay.
Here we go.
Let me try.
Here we go. Here.
What about this one? How's this going? Sorry, dude. This never had any audio issues before here. Oh, that's something is
Tim is
bugging
bad
out.
luck.
Something is bugging out here big time.
He's bad luck, man. So you're bad luck.
Can we talk?
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's better.
Yeah.
Better now?
I'm sorry, man. I don't know what's going on with that.
Now it's a lot better.
Now it's better, yeah, I think. Well,
Okay.
it sounds good here. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on. That's strange because I've never had an issue with this setup. Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
So, man, you decided to draft, right? And you're like, okay, screw this, I'm going overseas.
Yep. Let me put this on. Good.
Yeah, do your thing, bro. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so it basically came down to money because
Yeah, sure.
playing in the NBA D League, you don't make much, and you get taxed crazy playing in America and traveling state to state. So I got a call one day. I would never forget this. I was actually at a casino playing Texas Hold'em, trying to win some money, and a coach of mine from the D League called me and asked me if I wanted to go play in New Zealand.
Okay.
And he said it was a 4-month contract, and I think it was around like $12,000 for 4 months. And the D League, I was getting $12,000 tax for a whole season. So I was like, oh, yeah, sign me up. So
Yeah.
I went to New Zealand, and the rest is history.
Okay, shoot. So that was your first trip.
Yeah, that was my first time out.
And so it was, okay. And how was that to be like, okay, do you feel like you're representing, your country, you're representing, yourself? Or how do you feel like the first time you got to play, put on a jersey?
Man, I didn't know what to expect, and honestly, when I first got there, I hated it because each team at that time was supposed to have 2 imports, and I was the only guy that they had signed for maybe the first 2-3 weeks, so I was by myself, and no friends, no family, and it was just like go to practice and come back home, and they had me in a small apartment on top of a Burger King, and
Oh, shoot.
yeah, I really felt like leaving and going home immediately, but my dad at the time was like, stick through it, stay there. They didn't have much Wi-Fi back then, so it was I had to go to internet cafes. I remember those to be able to communicate with my family back home.
Yeah.
And he was like, stick through it. This is the dream you said you wanted to go after, so you can't quit now. And you just step through it. My new teammate came eventually, and he was an older veteran who had played many years. I think that was his last year playing professionally when he came with me. So I had him to, talk to and ask questions about overseas, and, he laced me up very well, and he got me through that season, man.
That's amazing, man. Wow. So how long did you end up staying in New Zealand?
I stayed there about 4 months.
Okay. And then back to the States, or were you like, I got the international bug?
From playing in New Zealand, I played very well. I was the leading scorer of the league that season, so I got recognized by the Nigerian national team.
Okay.
And so I went back home to America, and they invited me to come to a camp in Houston to go to a tournament they were having in Africa.
Okay.
And so I went to Houston. I tried out for the team. I made it because my dad, of course, is from Nigeria.
Okay.
I had to show proof of it, and they got me my passport to make me a Nigerian citizen, and took me to the tournament in Libya.
Okay.
Played in that tournament, played very well, and people might not know this, but with certain passports that you have, you can play in certain countries around the world and not count as an import. There's different rules for different countries. So with the Nigerian passport
here somehow, right? But we'll talk
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
With the Nigerian passport, it actually allows me to play in France as what they call a contenu player.
Whoa.
So they can have 4 imports from anywhere around the world, and they have, I think, 1 or 2 slots for contenu players.
Okay.
So I got noticed from a French team from that African tournament that I played in, and then went to France and stayed there for a while, and didn't really like the situation I was in there, and
Okay.
left there after about a month and went to Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah,
Damn.
Switzerland was nice. I stayed there for about 2.5 years.
Nice.
Won five cups there.
Really?
Yeah.
So basketball is popular everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Switzerland even had a league.
I didn't know either, man.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Switzerland is actually a league where it's not one of the top leagues in the world, but it's people look at it as like a starter league. So a lot of guys that are fresh out of college and stuff, they go there to start their careers.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what about Asia? So when did you were traveling kind of all the world, and then you came out to Asia to play some ball, right? So
I was before I came to my first stop in Asia was in China in the CBA, the top league there. Before I was there, I was actually playing in the Czech Republic, and it wasn't the agent that I had at the time. Another agent approached me and told me, "Hey man, I've been watching you, and I think that you could play in China in the CBA."
Okay.
But the CBA is really they only take NBA guys who have NBA credentials.
Gotcha.
So because the pay is so high there, they only look for NBA talent.
Understand. Okay.
And he said it's going to be tough for you to get in, but I know you have the ability, the skill set to do that. So we're going to have to, do a lot of tryouts and things like this during the summer.
Okay.
So when I finished with the Czech Republic, I went back home to Los Angeles, and Chinese teams, what they like to do is they take their teams on vacation in the summers and take them to LA, Las Vegas, different areas, and they hold little camps, training camps for their local players to get better, and they invite imports and prospects that really want to sign for the season.
Nice.
So I did a bunch of tryouts, and eventually one team decided that they liked me, and they invited me to come to China for an official tryout before the season started that year. So I went to Xinjiang, Urumqi, China.
Okay.
I think it's like northwest China. It was really crazy there. It was wartime kind of going on between the Chinese and the Muslim Chinese that they have there in that city.
Okay.
And I stayed there for about a month, and I will say won a contract because I worked my butt off, and they finally signed me to an actual contract.
Okay.
And that's how I started my career in China.
Okay. And how long ago was that, man?
That was in 2011.
Only one sec.
Okay, yeah, I know. I will. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get there in a sec. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, the audio is usually like flawless. I'm not sure what's going on today, but it still sounds fine. But
It's all good, man.
all right, bro. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, so living in China, you're saying it's kind of crazy, kind of wartime. You must have some kind of like experience out there of like, holy shit, I'm in China. Like, what's going on here?
Most of the China that I had saw wasn't like that. It just happened to be this area. I wasn't allowed to go out on my own in this particular city.
Wow.
Where we lived, we had the owner of our team was, I think at the time, he was maybe one of the top 10 richest guys in China.
Okay.
So he had his mansion that he lived in, and then he had a smaller mansion that he kept the imports in. And then we had our practice facility 30 second to 1 minute walk away from where we lived.
Oh, wow.
So if we needed to go to the grocery store, we wanted to just get out and do something different from just being stuck on the facility all the time, we had to have a personal driver. We had to get it cleared by the team management to be able to go out. And there were times where I went out into the city and I would see tanks driving across the streets, and guys with megaphones saying stuff in Chinese, which I didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah.
And it was actually one time I was with my wife was there with me at the time, but we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and we went to a restaurant to eat, and after we finished, we went to go pay, and my friend that I was with, he was paying, so I was, hugging my girlfriend at the time back then.
Yeah.
From behind, and one of the guys working there, this is a really strict Muslim area. Oh. He came and separated us. And it was like, no. I was like, yeah, this is not the place to be.
That's crazy.
Showing any affection. So yeah, we just went back home immediately.
Some of the like really Muslim countries, it's very it's super strict. Apparently, Indonesia in the last year or 2 years, they passed some kind of law where you cannot have like premarital relations or something.
Really?
Or you can go to jail. Like, it's crazy, man.
Saudi Arabia, they have some strict rules there as well.
Saudi Arabia. Okay. Ooh. How many countries have you played in?
Man,
Let me remember them all.
let me see if I can go in order as well. I started. So it was New Zealand, France, Switzerland, Russia, Czech Republic, China, South Korea, Lebanon, Taiwan, of course. Qatar, Saudi Arabia. I played in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates,
Okay.
and I played in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow. Shoot, man.
Yeah, and I think that might be all.
Yeah, all right, all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you must have some places that you're favorites, no? Like some places where you're like, I
Yeah.
love this.
I honestly thought that I was going to end my career and retire in Lebanon. I loved it there. I played there for 4 to 5 years. Basketball's the number one sport there.
Nice.
The living day-to-day things are amazing. And you have great food, great weather. It's right on the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay. Okay.
Things didn't go as well as I thought it was going to go there with the economy. Of course, the economy went pretty bad, and then they got hit with coronavirus really tough, and they had the bombing that went off at the port, and so I had ended up having to change locations, and that's when I left, and I went to Dubai and Qatar and Saudi Arabia after that, and then I got to, like I said, I had the opportunity last year to come to Taiwan, and me and my wife have always been wanting to come back to Asia because I love playing Asia so much. So
Okay.
I'm glad it happened.
Nice, man. And you guys are here, and you're staying for a while, right?
Staying for a while, man.
Nice,
That is the plan.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, I mean, being like an all-in sort of pro basketball player, do you watch a lot of NBA, or is it like I don't want to see basketball in my free time?
I used to when Kobe played, man. That's my favorite player. When he was still playing, I would make sure that I had NBA League Pass, and I would watch every Laker game, really just to study him and to study his footwork and stuff. Nowadays, I don't really watch any, except for when it gets playoffs time.
Gotcha.
I'll catch a game every now and then, but yeah, I'm not a big NBA guy anymore like I used to be when Kobe was playing.
Do you have like a Mount Rushmore, like your top 4 guys? Like I mean, there's always the GOAT debate.
Yeah.
Do you have like a 4, or do you have a GOAT? Kobe?
I would have to say the GOAT would have to be Michael Jordan, just because without him, you wouldn't have these other guys, because everybody mimics the people that they saw before.
Yeah.
So I have to give it to him. Kobe, that's my idol, so of course I pick him after MJ. And then LeBron, of course. That dude's just a monster, and statistically, nobody can compare with him.
Yeah, for sure.
And if I had to pick another guy, I'm going with Shaq, man. I'm a big Shaq DJ fan, especially growing up in LA and watching the Lakers when they won all those championships.
Man, Shaq was like, he had his own video game. He had everything.
Yeah, movies, whatever.
Yeah, he was in Space Jam. Like, that was crazy. That was a crazy time. I mean, when I was growing up.
Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I was growing up, I remember being in like elementary school. Like, this is way back. I'm older than you, dude. And it was like the classics were like you'd have like Dave Robinson and like Reggie Miller and like Isaiah Thomas, and it was just like, oh man, I used to love. As a kid, I loved it, and then when I got older, I still like to watch it. But I mean, after I came to Taiwan, I just you just fall off of things. Like even soccer, like I coached soccer, played it my whole life. But then even living out here, you just kind of like, there was no. I came here for such a long time that there was no Game Pass, and there was no obviously there was internet, but there was no and the
different skills because games coming on,
those 3 a.m. games are
sucks.
Yeah, so I think I don't know. I love to watch, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, basketball, man, brother. I love that. I love it. So we're in Taiwan, and you've played in both leagues.
Yes, I've played in both leagues. Yeah, started off in T1 last season. Now with the P.
So maybe you could tell me what are the differences, if that's an okay topic to bring up.
Yeah, I would say talent-wise, it's not that big of a difference.
Okay.
I feel like the P League does have maybe more experienced local players.
Okay.
They do tend to have some of the older guys who have played outside of Taiwan before.
Gotcha.
And just have a little more experience. Fan-wise, the fan base in the P League is, of course, larger than T1. That's what I've noticed.
Okay.
The way that the atmosphere of the games are when it comes to marketing and how they approach the game for the warm-ups with the cheerleaders dancing, the different special events they might have. I think the P League does theirs a little bit better than T1. But yeah, the imports, not that big of a difference when it comes to import talent. Local talent,
similar
rules. Rules are the same. Yeah.
Okay. Like
The rules they didn't used to be the same. Last season it was different. In T1 you can have 2 imports on the court the entire game.
Okay.
Last season, with the first 3 years of P League, you can only have 2 imports the first 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter you can only have 1.
Okay.
But they changed those rules this year, so you can have 2 the entire game.
Okay. Gotcha. And then so now you're super happy in your Shinju, right? Shinju's doing well.
And doing well, man. It's a very nice city. The management there is great. They've been treating me and my family like royalty.
That's awesome, man.
I put the work in for them, man. I work as hard as I can, and they definitely show me that they appreciate it. So
I love it, man.
thank you, Lioneers family.
Yes. Shout out to the Lioneers, man. T1. I didn't really know about the T1 until Dwight Howard came to Taiwan, and then T1 was like there was posters, everything there.
Yeah.
And they, it was just like he was like the belle at the ball, and he stayed a year and then left.
Yeah.
So you were playing there as well.
Yeah, I was teammates with him.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how was that?
Yeah, man, that was never in my life would I have thought that I'll be playing with possibly a future NBA Hall of Famer, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, before I signed here, my friend who was a trainer, he was telling me that the team was getting ready to sign him.
Okay.
And then they actually did. And then the GM of the team at the time called me and asked me, do you want to come play with Dwight? I was like, sure, why not? Who wouldn't want to play with Dwight Howard? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I've only played with one other big name NBA guy, and that was Ron Artest, aka Metal World Peace, when we played in China together.
Nice.
So I was like, I'm going to look at it as Kobe playing with Dwight Howard again. I'm going to come out there and try to help him with the scoring, throw alley-oops, and
I love it, man.
I get to play with somebody who played with my idol. So, of course, I'm going to ask him a bunch of questions about how it was playing with Kobe.
So, obviously, you're a Kobe fan, and you have a style, like a similar style, game style to like Kobe. So, how did the Shinju Kobe nickname or the Taiwan Kobe nickname, how did that sort of come about?
The fans just gave it to me, man. You know, I've never called myself Kobe or told people that I play like him. Fans just notice, I guess, the way that my shooting form or some of the moves that I make. They said they look similar to him, and that's probably because, like I said, when Kobe used to play, I had the NBA League Pass, and I literally would sit there and rewind all of his moves and watch his footwork, and then I would go in the gym and practice it myself. It's like if he's doing it and killing guys every single night, then I have to try to learn this stuff.
That's amazing, man. I remember growing up. And I think Kobe's my age, right? But he was my age, and so I remember getting ready for prom, right? Getting ready for prom, and in my my little hometown, when you go to prom, you get your tux and all that stuff, and then you always try to find a cousin or somebody that has like a hot rod or some kind of like a nice car, and then you kind of you have your girl and you pull up, right? You pull up and you go to the prom. It's like the highlight of the whole thing, right? Pulling up in somebody else's car, right?
Exactly.
But you're a high school kid. You're like, hey, this is cool.
I remember that day.
Mustang or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember everybody was just kind of trying to outdo everybody. And then on the news, like right before the prom, we saw the news break out that Kobe took a helicopter to his. Like he was doing the same thing, but he took a helicopter to his prom. And I believe he brought a singer. I think it was Brandy.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember The Boy Is Mine, Brandy.
Yeah, for sure.
So he goes with Brandy, and he's got this helicopter, and it was just like massive news, and everybody's just kind of like, you're sitting in there like your cousin's hot rod. He just outdid everybody, man. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy, man. So Jordan versus LeBron, brother. Has to be Jordan. What are you thinking? That's always been good.
I mean, Jordan's specialty is one-on-one. So, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm going to go with him. LeBron definitely, he is the all-time leading scorer now, and so big and strong. But I don't know. I think the skill work offensively, like Jordan and Kobe's, is a lot better than LeBron's.
Nice, brother. I love it. Yeah, I got to call that one out. And, so has your style changed, or do you adjust your style when you were traveling to, China, Taiwan, or Lebanon, all the different countries?
Game style,
it was like, I'm me. I'm doing
not too much, man. When I get on really good teams that have very good local players, those are usually the teams that win the championships. Then of course I don't need to score as much.
Okay.
And I can facilitate more and play more of a team style, game.
Gotcha.
When I get to teams where they've told me, or I can notice that, okay, I need to have a more of a scoring impact for us to be successful, then I'll turn it up some. But yeah, man, it just really depends on the team makeup. My game for the most part stays the same, and then I just choose whether I need to score more or whether I need to facilitate more, or whatever the team needs me to do to be successful.
Nice, man. So it's either like the coach will say, I need you to pass more, or it's like, don't pass.
I've been at some teams where it's like, you shoot the ball, like don't even think about pass.
We got some comments here. Let me read some of these out.
Okay.
We got, audio sounds better. You asked how the other one. Okay. With Oscar out for the next few weeks, who do you see really stepping up for the Lioneer locals? And what changes did Coach Mitrovic make when he came in that really created a tougher team?
With Oscar out, everybody has to step up. Okay. Oscar definitely is a key to our team, and he helps us big time offensively. He gives me a break. I don't have to handle the ball as much when he's there. He pushes the tempo, keeps us organized, and he can score, which helps take pressure off of me.
Okay.
Coach didn't really make too many adjustments, man. It's just told everybody, you guys got to pick up the slack. We have it's like an army. You got one guy goes down, the next guy has to be ready to battle.
Yeah.
Not too many changes, man.
Okay, beautiful. Let me just get these comments out of the way, and we'll just keep going. Which league had the highest level of competition that you played in? I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want, but it's
when I played in the Czech Republic, I played in the Euro Cup. That was the highest tournament that I played in Europe. And I played against the CSKA Moscow's big clubs like that. And you definitely can see the difference. In Europe, the basketball is a lot different than Asia. Europe is more like you're playing chess. It's like they're just moving the ball from side to side until you get that open opportunity. In Asia, I've noticed it's a lot of giving the ball to the imports. And the imports are creating for themselves or creating for others.
Okay. Nice. And the last one we've got on there for now would be, can relate to not watching as much after Kobe retired. Yeah. Shoot, I don't know if we should,
It's like the competition's not there. It's just, I watch NBA now, and it's just run up and down, shoot threes. And some guys have some good moves and stuff. I like Anthony Edwards, Paul George. These guys got some really good talents and very skillful footwork and stuff. But other than that, man, it's a lot of just threes getting tossed up.
So if you're not watching much basketball in the free time, what do you do in your free time, man?
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, man. I'm a big Call of Duty guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, when I had my daughter, I sold all the video game, like PS3s and all the crap that I had.
Got rid of it.
I got rid of it. And to get rid of all, and then as soon as I had her, everything was good. And then when she was about 5, we brought her to Canada, and she hung out with my sister's kids, and all they did was play Switch. And then so from like 5, like she's 12 now it's like Switch, Roblox. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess to go back.
My daughter.
I got to go play all the games again. So, but now it's fun. I play with I don't get Call of Duty yet, but get to play the kiddie stuff.
My daughter's stuck on the VR. She's on that every day. But, it's like I said, she homeschools and stuff, so she's by herself a lot. So it's good for her because she can interact with other kids,
Yeah.
Give her something to do other than just sit in the house all day.
Are there any other players with kids?
A lot of my local teammates have kids. The players have kids as well, too.
Do they kind of get together and play, or is everybody kind of like...
This team, the age gap is kind of far. They're like I'm the old guy on the team, man. So these kids are all a couple years old.
That's funny. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I remember my daughter when she was the little one. She was always like, "Why do the older kids don't want to play?" And then now she's the older one. She's like, "I don't want to play with that."
Exactly,
brother. So, how do you handle the pressure of being like the go-to guy? Is it just like it's normal for you?
Yeah, I mean, my sister was here visiting recently, and she asked me the same question, and she told me she would have anxiety and everything. I said, man, I've been the go-to guy since college. I've always been a good scorer, and I've always been asked to, help the team in scoring and stuff. So with that ability comes that, man. You have to be able to take the pressure. luckily now, I'm at the stage of my career where, like I said, 16, 17 years in, and I'm used to it and not afraid to take big shots and make big shots. And when you work as hard as I do and I get hundreds and hundreds of shots up every day, you have confidence in yourself that you're going to make those shots. And you just, you don't care about anything else because you put the work in, so you know what to expect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you keep mentioning you're the older guy, you're the oldest guy. Obviously, dude, you're looking good, brother.
Yeah.
So how does a 30, 38, 39-year-old guy, how do you stay in like top shape and able to run and gun with like the 20-year-olds, bro? What's the secret?
Taking care of your body.
Okay.
Once I met my wife, I definitely changed my diet. The Italian food, the Mediterranean diet, it helped me out a lot. I cut out soda. I don't drink soda at all, really. It's either just normal water or soda water.
Okay.
And just taking care of my body when it comes to icing and treatment. I don't take any days off or any time off and skip treatments. Like I make sure my body feels right, because at the end of the day, this is my, it's my engine. I'm not going to mess up what's putting food on the table for me and my family.
That's the money maker.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And so cutting out soda, that's crazy because, I mean, I when I came to Taiwan, I also cut out soda, and then but when I go back to Canada, you're eating and you're just drinking, super fat. When I
I gain weight.
in Canada, US is probably the same, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Now I go back to Italy, so I gain some weight, but I try not to take more than 2 to 3 weeks off, and then I get right back into the gym. Because especially at this age,
It's hard
if I
to
take off too much time, man, it'll take forever to get back in shape.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Is there a moment in your Taiwan basketball career that you were just like, this is the moment, this is it, this is the spot, I'm feeling good about this? Like a high moment of like Taiwan League. This could be in either team, could be recently you had a 44-point.
No, it had to definitely be last season after cause my first few games weren't up to par for me, and then once I had my first couple good games, and then going from nobody noticing me, knowing who I am, to walking out of the locker room and having tons of fans waiting there for autographs, I was like, okay, this might be the place to stay and grow this brand and that place for my family. My family loved it here too, so I was like, this might be the spot for the rest of my career.
I think Taiwan, like it's a unique place. Like I said, I came here a long time ago, and I plan on coming for 1 or 2 years, and I've been here for like over 20 now, and it's great. And I've also traveled other countries and stuff, but yeah, it's a good spot in Taiwan. The people are there. It's just, I don't know, something about it. It's special.
People are nice, clean, safe, very safe.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Let me pull up some pictures here, and you tell me what's going on here. So here we go. Boom. It's a good picture, man.
Yeah, these are my guys in Lebanon, 961 Street. Sorry I can't remember your name right now, my man, but they make the best graphics when it comes to like cracking jokes or just when somebody has a good game. And
real. That's like a photo.
Oh, that's Photoshop completely. I guess I'm calling a play during the game, and they photoshopped this chef outfit on. But this is after I had a good game against someone out there, and they just put like, Mike Chef. He was a chef on the court tonight and destroyed the other team.
That's hilarious, man. That's such a good pic. Yeah, now I see it, but it actually, they did a good job on that.
Yeah, they did.
That's crazy.
Those guys are great out there, man. Shout out to 961 Street, man.
Beautiful.
Oh, this is in China before I came to Taiwan this season.
Okay.
You know what's funny? People don't know this story. I'm going to tell people a secret. I didn't have many offers to come back to Taiwan after last season. And where we live in Italy, they opened up a new Chinese market, right? So groceries and different things straight from China for the Chinese community there.
Okay.
And my wife she wanted to always go. She loves going to those stores. So she was like, let's go. I want to see the new store. So we go. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a video on my Instagram and show some of the products in this store. And, people just believe whatever they see online nowadays.
Yeah.
So I made a video of some products, and I didn't put the prices because the prices were in euros. So I didn't want them to see that.
Yeah.
And of course, an agent that this pictures from an amateur tournament in China. They have a lot of pro-am tournaments throughout the summer in China.
Okay.
They call it Wild Bone. And an agent out there saw my story and thought that I was in China because I showed some Chinese products.
Oh shoot. Okay.
So he's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "Why? Do you have a job for me?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah. I have a team that wants you. But where are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm flying back to Italy right now. I was in China." And he was like, "Oh man, but the team doesn't want to fly you to China from Italy." I was like, "Oh, no problem. Look, I'll fly to Taiwan, and then just have the team fly me from Taiwan to China." He said, "Oh, okay, they'll do that." So I flew to Taiwan, and which was the beginning of this season, early. And I went to a couple of P-League games, and then I flew to China to go play in that tournament. And I was there for like 7 days, and we ended up getting second place in the tournament, and I got MVP of it. And I came back to Taiwan before I had to fly back home to Italy. And when I got to Taiwan, the Lioneers, I don't know if they saw the video of me. I scored like 55 points in one of these games.
Oh yeah.
And they made me an offer when I came back to Taiwan, so I ended up staying and not going back home.
That's crazy, man. That's like doing, like pulling your fate into your own hands, right? That's crazy.
Exactly.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that, man.
I'm glad my wife wanted to go to the Chinese market that day.
Yeah. To note to people, you want to get in, you gotta go to the Chinese market and just kind of like hang out Chinese markets, man. That's crazy, dude. It's hard to choose good pitch, man. You got so much good stuff on your Instagram, but it's hard to pull up.
This is actually pictures that she took. My wife, when she came to, I was in Iowa in the NBA D League.
Okay.
And yeah, she was there with me as my girlfriend back then, and the team gave her some press passes and to take photos, and she actually took these photos you see here. But yeah, those are just some in-game photos of me
Awesome.
in Iowa.
That's crazy. The wife is always like the number one supporter, number one, I love it. I love it. Wives, shout out to the wives. Amazing.
This is that's where Chef Mike started in Lebanon. I was playing with a club there called Beirut Club, and they asked me before the season started, "What do you want to put on the back of your jersey?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Can you put Chef Mike on the back?"
Yeah.
They were like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, put it." But in the back of my head, I was like, "Man, if I put that on my jersey, I need to play very well. That's some pressure to have a nickname back there."
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure I'm the only player in Lebanon who's ever had a nickname on the back of the jersey like that. Maybe even overseas.
That's beautiful.
Then, of course, on the other side is jersey from my Nigerian national team.
Yeah.
The last time I played with them was, I can't remember, maybe 2019 for FIBA World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
And that's the actual jersey from that tournament.
That's beautiful, man. And so because your dad is from there, that you're able to kind of,
he appreciates to get a jersey with his country, his name on the back.
I bet that's his jersey.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Boom. So you got some merch.
Yeah, this is these armbands arm sleeves. We just came out with it. I had a company approach me. The company's name is Spox. Shout out to Spox.
Okay.
They came to me, asked me if I wanted to do a collaboration with them for some gear. So we came to an agreement, and yeah, those are actually in pre-order now. I'm getting some delivered to me tomorrow, so the next game I will be wearing one of those arm sleeves.
And if people want to get one, you got to give me a link, and I'll put it in.
Oh yeah, I'll give you the link. If you go to the Spox Instagram, SPOX, there's a link to the store there, and you can pre-order arm sleeves, T-shirts, jerseys, and shorts, and they will get to you ASAP. And then the other picture is that trip I told you about when I went to China and I came back to Taiwan. Before I signed with Lioneers, I went out to dinner one night and walked through the mall, and this company saw me and they said, "Oh, it's iFootball. We want to give you some free arm sleeves." So
okay,
I was like, "Cool, some free arm sleeves."
Yeah, that must be nice.
There's some digging in this Instagram.
Yeah, bro, I got some good ones. I got some good ones coming, bro.
Oh.
And this is the T1, right? This is the Leopards?
This is the Leopards here last season. First team in Taiwan for me. Was a great experience. The first time I got to play in front of 15,000 people, thanks to having Dwight Howard on the team.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Great group of guys there, too. Had some good relationships and friendships with the local players there. And actually, my teammate that was with me there last year won the imports. He's with me now in Central, Deontay Davis.
Oh, beauty. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. 2 more, brother. I got to pull that one up. I got to pull that up. I went through. I'm like, oh, that's such a good picture, bro. You got to.
This is my very
18 years old, bro.
Yeah, actually, this is my second team. I went to the NBA D League first, and I was there for about a month and I had a really bad ankle sprain. So the team ended up releasing me. And after I rehab and got better, they used to have this league. I'm not sure if they still have it, but it's called the IBL. And this team was based out of Santa Barbara, California. And I would go and play on every weekend, and they would give me like $300 a weekend. It was semi-pro. You used to have like a lot of retired ex-NBA guys that would play in this league. And it was something to just, stay in shape and try to get a little more exposure. So I did that, man. I didn't expect you to pull that.
No, I had to, because the story you just told was also like a little description, right? You thought you were balling, making $150 a game.
Man, that money would be gone right. It would go right to partying that weekend too.
Look, man. I got one more. But we gotta get gotta get that in.
My man Tim over here with the Lens Affair podcast that we did a few months ago.
Yeah.
Great time. We had some good dinner as well, and when they did this podcast, it got some good reviews. Great group of guys, man. They were funny. We had a really nice night. I'm happy that I did that podcast, and I wouldn't have met you probably if I didn't do that podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Podcast. You gotta network the podcast, bro. That's beautiful. I love that, man. So yeah, I love that one picture, man. Do you have any sort of cultural things that you've come to that in Taiwan that where you're like, okay, this is something kind of different, or maybe another country? Any stories where you're like, oh, like some people be like, oh, that a lot of people tell me they would come from Canada to the States, and they would come out and they would hear the garbage truck and they'd be running looking for the ice cream truck.
Yeah, I had that too. And my daughter had that as well, because my dad's actually an ice cream truck driver. Sure. Especially when I heard that noise, I'm thinking ice cream truck. But for the most part, Taiwan is pretty much like America to me. Okay. The biggest cultural difference that I've seen probably was when I played in Saudi Arabia, and my wife was dressing like the Saudi women and full cover with the black mask, the whole deal, right? And we've gone to the grocery store at times, and my daughter gets lost because all the women look the same, and she can't find mommy. So she starts screaming for mom.
Oh man!
But to me, that's probably the biggest cultural difference, and just not being able to go out and have a drink if you want to in Saudi Arabia because there's no alcohol.
Yeah, that's tough.
Mostly all we did it's so hot too, so you're in the house for the most part, and kids go to start school later because it's so hot in the morning. So
really,
we would go to the mall at 1 a.m. and you see the kids all playing in the play areas at late at night, 1, 2 in the morning. Yeah, that's their time to go out and be cool and have fun. Not be so hot.
That's crazy, man. Shoot.
Yeah.
Got a couple more comments here. Give me a sec. Did Edward Chang, general manager, bring you to the Lioneers, or were they looking at you before he moved to the Lioneers from the T1 League?
No, like I said, I didn't have any interest at all from anyone after last season. Not sure why, but I went to China, like I said, and played in that amateur tournament, and then came back here. I was scheduled to only stay here for 2 days before I flew back to Italy, and I went to dinner one night and got a phone call from an agency out here, and they told me that they didn't actually tell me which team it was, but they told me there was a P League team that was interested, and I said, well, look, I'm getting ready to fly home tomorrow, so if they're serious, we need to get this deal done tonight or early tomorrow morning. And
okay.
I woke up the next morning and had the contract.
Okay, nice. I love how you took your fate into your own hands.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful story. How do you balance, like, you're a husband and a dad, but you're a pro bowler and you've got to be in shape all the time? What's like a typical day, and how do you balance that sort of life?
The balance comes from my wife, to be honest.
Okay.
Without, like, if they weren't here, then of course I would just focus on. I just have basketball. I wouldn't have to really worry about the dad life so much. And taking care of my daughter at times, but having her here, it helps with the food. It helps with not having to worry about, I come home from practice now. I gotta wash these clothes. I gotta cook dinner for myself. I gotta make sure the house is clean. I gotta do this. Gotta do that. She takes full control of all of that and just lets me focus on my job.
Okay.
And it's a huge help. So a typical day for me is I wake up and we normally don't have practice until like 4 p.m. I'll get there maybe an hour and a half early and get my weight training in, get some extra shooting in before practice starts, and then go through the official practice, and after get my treatment, which will be going into the ice tub. If I need to get a massage or something, I'll get that done. Go home and she'll have dinner prepared.
Nice.
Eat dinner, then go right back to treatment again. Ice in my knees, my ankles, wherever I feel any kind of discomfort for after practice. And then, just relaxing with my daughter and her, watch movies, do homeschooling. So every night my daughter does have homework for the most part, so she handles that as well.
Okay.
So while they're doing homework, I'm playing Call of Duty and relaxing.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to unwind.
Yeah, man. And but yeah, she's a big help, man. She takes care of everything, so I can just focus on hoops.
That's beautiful, man. So that's a typical day for you. So how often are you practicing? Like you've got to, like how often are there games? How often are you training with the team? Like,
normally, Taiwan's a lot different from most countries. Other countries I've played in, we were playing maybe once a week. But here we this depends on the schedule. We have back-to-back games at times, like we just had this weekend. And this weekday is actually Tuesday, Wednesday, which I never saw before.
Wednesday, back to back.
Yeah, and then we have another one coming up this Saturday, Sunday. So if we say we only have like a game on a Saturday, then typically coach will give us Sunday and Monday off.
Okay.
I would normally go in on the second day off to do some extra work for myself, and then we'll have practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty hard, and then Friday we'll lighten it up so that way we're all fresh for the game on Saturday.
Nice.
Game days, she has a meal prepared for me after I wake up in the morning or the afternoon, depending on what time the game is. And get to the gym about an hour and a half to 2 hours before the game, get nice and warmed up, and go out there and handle business.
Beautiful, man. That's like it's all about the wives, man. My wife is amazing. Like we built this business, and it's been people are like, oh, you've done so well. I'm like, well, most of it's most of the crazy stuff has been hers.
Behind the scenes, man.
Yeah, the behind the scenes craziness, brother. So I think one more question. Is there anything that sets sort of the Taiwan league apart and makes Taiwan sort of special, like for the basketball scene?
To me, Taiwan is like at the top of when it comes to like marketing and promoting their league.
Okay.
T1 was good, but P League, I feel like they take it to another level. When I used to play in China, I would always like tell my wife and friends back home, like, man, there's so many fans in China, and there's so many people in China,
Yeah.
Games will be packed, but it's just like they don't take advantage of it on the marketing side out there. But Taiwan definitely does. They're really up to beat when it comes to that stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's really similar to America to me.
Okay.
This is their NBA, and they take pride in it. And you can see it. I mean, with the attendance ratings. Of course, bringing Jeremy Lin here too as well. That helps with getting the league noticed more. Taiwan's really on top of their game when it comes to that.
Brother, that's amazing. Do you have anything that you want to say, maybe to the fans or something before we call it, or how are you feeling?
I give a message to the Senshu Lioneer fans. I told you guys we were going to be fighting hard all season, and we were going to get into these playoffs. We're not quite there yet, but we're very close, and we got 6 games left, and I'm going to push myself as well as everybody else on the team so we get this goal taken care of. And once we get into the playoffs, anything's possible, man. You don't know what can happen. So for now, the goal is playoffs, and then ultimately my goal is to try to get a championship. So you guys have my utmost respect, and you have the guarantee that I'm going to fight hard for you guys every night.
It's beautiful, man. I like that. And then off season, back to the States, back to Italy.
Yeah, we're going back to Italy. I can't wait to go back and barbecue and go to the beach and just relax, because it's been a long season.
Long season, man. Beautiful, man. Brother, this is amazing. I hope the audio turned out. I hope everything's working well. But I love having you here, man. I would love to do it again. If you have a chance, I will come out and catch some games.
Yeah, whatever you need, my man.
I would love to do that. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Thank you guys for watching the show. Do you have anything you want to say now before we call it? One final note?
Shishi, bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care.
All right.
Thank you everybody for watching Eddie's show. We feel only happiness, don't feel any sorrow. Welcome everybody to watch more on his content. Eddie Live Podcast. Eddie Live Podcast.